Welcome to South Kitsap High School. I'm the Dr. Doc Parr. It's Community Television's high school basketball game of the week, and we've got a very special presentation for you tonight as our South Kitsap Lady Wolves host those Foss Flying Falcons from Tacoma. I'm joined here in the booth by the L-Man, Mr. Larry Rowe, and we're working with the South Kitsap Advanced Professional Video Production crew who did such a great job this season on the football games, and we're very, very happy and thankful to them for giving us this great setup here tonight, Larry, at South Kitsap.
Well, it's certainly a lot nicer than the setup we usually go with, Doc. We have a beautiful 3-camera setup tonight in the Foss Falcons, a crossed Tacoma rivalry, which has over the years been a really great rivalry, and I'm sure we're going to have a great game tonight.
Well, let's go down to the floor, and Mr. Roger Fossum, our partner, had an interview with Coach Gary Wilson before tonight's ball game. Let's see what the coach had to say.
Last week you had a tough loss. This makes this week's game all the more important.
Yeah, it was day before yesterday's when it was down at Bellarmine, yeah. We're really banged up. Our kids played their heart out down there, and yesterday we only had one starter healthy. We couldn't hardly hold a practice. Little ding-ups and stuff, but I confidence our kids. They'll be back, and they'll play hard. They know this is an important game.
Natasha suffered an ankle injury. How's she doing?
She's doing okay. Her ankle, I think, is okay. Just her wind, she had 4 days off without going on it, and I think that hurt her Wednesday a little bit. She was a step slow, but I think she's a gamer.
I know that Lindsay had some pretty serious cramps. Is she doing okay now, too?
Yeah, her calf, she's the one that's hurting the most. She really is. She's got to stretch it a lot and everything. She's going to the doctor tomorrow, and hopefully things are okay. But she had serious cramps, and it just takes a toll on you.
Now, tonight you're playing Foss. This is a pretty important game for you guys. Do you think this game the other night against Bellarmine, if you'd have had your girls healthy, that you could have won that game and still be undefeated?
Well, we should have won it even without. You always think that way. We had some kids that weren't quite comfortable in that situation, and that's why it was good to have that situation going. With the crowd noise, we mixed up a few things, and there was just some little things that didn't go with us. It was a competitive game. But Bellarmine's a very good team, and hey, they deserve. To their credit, they came out and played, and we were right there. It was a very physical game, and it was good for our kids. You want to win them, but hey, if you don't, we played hard with them.
Coach, thanks a lot. Have good luck tonight.
Okay.
Have a good game. Thanks a lot. You bet. Back to you, Doc.
Oh, thank you, Roger. That was a great interview. I love that when the coach said, you always got to think that way.
Well, that's the way you have to think if you want to win games.
That's right, and this team definitely is a winner. They were ranked second in the state of Washington before that loss on Wednesday to Bellarmine. A 2-point loss in the last couple seconds of the ball game, and the coach told me that was a defensive monster over there in Tacoma.
Well, we've seen them score over 100 a couple times this year, Doc, so 45 points. Yes, I would say that was a defensive battle.
Yes, indeed. Well, we're just about ready for the starting lineups in this contest. This is a very important game in the Narrows League. The South Kitsap team wants to and has to really beat Foss to keep ahead of them for that first place position in their division of the Narrows League.
Absolutely. That first place finish in their division will, of course, give them the bye in the first round.
Yeah.
And will get them out of playing a couple more games because the second place teams have to play off for the third position.
That's right. Yes, indeed. Playoffs. Let's go to our PA announcer for these starting lineups. And a very nice rendition of the Star Spangled Banner a cappella here at the South Kitsap Gymnasium.
A cappella and perhaps even coloratura.
Well, this is going to be a good ball game as our Lady Wolves from South Kitsap take on the Foss Lady Falcons from Tacoma. And boy, Larry, for a number of years that we've been covering these high school ball games, Foss has been in the playoffs and district tournaments a lot, and we've seen them play against South Kitsap a lot in those districts.
Well,
so
my memory fails me as to if it was last year or the year before, but that year they each had I believe a home court win.
That's right.
And then I believe South went down to them in the playoff.
That's right, down at Bellarmine,
down
of all
there.
places
That's
in
right.
Tacoma.
And so this the long rivalry between these two, the dreaded Foss Falcons, as I like to refer to them.
Jumping out there, we have Angela Sampson, also Natasha Ellen, Erica Lamalu, Kristen Boyd, and Lindsay Foster, and the Foss Lady Falcons grab a hold of that ball to begin with. That's Andrea Craig with it. Up to the front is Kelly Swordstall. Oh, a nice block there. That's Angela Sampson getting her hand in the way. But Foss comes back with the rebound. Another nice board. 2 good boards already by Angela, and Angela had a good game the last week or so. Angela has really been coming on well.
Well, what I've been impressed with so far, of course, is the rebounding and the good offensive play of this team, scoring well over 100 points, or up to 100, excuse me.
Andrea Craig inbounding it. Good pressure defense by the Lady Wolves. Nice turnover, nice grab and put back. Unfortunately, it won't go through.
Nice return on that rebound by Angela.
And again, pressure defense.
Well, I think that's what you're going to be seeing is good defense and good position under the boards, and hopefully that's going to translate to a good transition game.
Now Angela Sampson with 2 points and 2 rebounds. That's going to go off of South Kitsap, and Foss will maintain possession. Lindsay Foster.
Not quite able to get the fork in it.
Oh, a nice drive, but an even better block, and that was Natasha Ella. Said, not in my neighborhood, thank you. Good ball movement so far here at the beginning of the game. That might have been an ill-advised pass. And that's a nice drive by Andrea Craig. She's going to get fouled, and she'll go up to the free throw line.
Well, Erica Lamalu got a little bit of the body contact on the side. Had pretty much ball, I think, with the hand, but kind of knocked her to the right side there. And Andrea Craig will go to the line trying to earn them at the charity stripe.
Foss is currently 2-2 in the Narrows division. And, of course, South Kitsap with only 1 loss this entire season.
I do believe that Bellarmine team is going to be at the Martin Luther King tournament this weekend.
Ah.
One of 6 teams.
Well, they, in the preseason, were predicted to be one of the strongest teams in the state, as was South Kitsap. Nice rebound pulled down by Natasha Ellen. Lindsay Foster out at the point. Kristen Boyd on one wing and Erica Lamalu on the other. High post of Natasha, low post of Angela Sampson. I love that high-low post, the twin tower offense.
Well, South Kitsap has the height. Their front line is quite tall.
Oh, Savage with a nice inside pass. And again, another good rejection by Natasha Ellen. And that time, unfortunately, the ball loose. And that's Kristen Boyd.
Well, I think they're going to have to call that one.
Well, here,
We got number 10 on number 10 there with the takedown.
number 10, Kristen Boyd for the South Kitsap Lady Wolves. And here at the 5:51 mark in period number 1 in tonight's ball game, South Kitsap leads 2-1, and South Kitsap is going to get the ball back. And that's right, Referee Jim Lamont. Got to use the left hand instead of the right for that call.
Well, they're trying to loosen up here a little bit.
Boyd will be bringing it in bounds. And to Foster. stops and pops. Not in, off of the hands of Kristen Boyd, and Foss takes over. Well, low scoring so far. Andrea Craig back out to number 24 is Kelly Sorsdahl. Cross to Savage. Oh, knocked loose. Good pair of hands knocking it loose. I believe it was Angela Sampson. Lindsay Foster picked it up, and Erika Lamalu with a nice 12-footer there.
What a nice assist from Lindsay.
Yes, indeed. That was a good play from beginning to end. The knock loose of the ball. The Foss Lady Falcons just weren't taking care of the round thing.
Well, we've watched Lindsay develop over the years, and she is an excellent ball handler, and she really directs this team well from the point.
Excellent point guard, yes, indeed. Jump shot by Michelle King. Off the iron. Oh, that one. Well, at least South Kitsap will retain possession. There again, that's kind of a tough pass.
They stack up for the inbounds.
Good look away assist to inside for Foster to Natasha. Natasha can't convert, and coming out of there, Andrea Craig, 5'7" junior for Foss. And Foss has a good team. Coach told me before the game, though, that they're a little young, and you look at the lineup, you've only got 3 seniors on that entire team, a lot of juniors, some freshmen, and even a couple of sophomores and even one freshman. So it is a young team. And that was definitely a defensive lapse there as Maureen Wilson gets completely wide open for an unchallenged layup. And another little lapse of concentration. Well,
it wasn't quite showtime, but
might work in the pros. Nice rebound.
Well, Natasha Allen again with a great position down there in the paint.
Yes, indeed. And again, pressure defense. Foss is doing a good job of getting past the half-court line, but you can tell that pressure defense is really causing them some troubles when they make bad passes like that, causing the turnover.
Well, it's kind of natural to want to get fancy sometimes. You see it in the pros every day. Probably a bounce pass would have worked just as well.
Beth Ellis with the ball right now in for South Kitsap. That's Kristen Boyd. That's Angela Sampson. Back out front to Lindsay. A nice dish into Natasha Ellen, and she'll go to the charity line for 2 on that one.
Well, it looks like Foss is kind of running a 1-3-1 here. Defense, zone defense. South Kitsap, of course, is going to have to do some crisp passing to be effective.
Well, yeah, we saw, actually, we've seen the zone this last week or two. The Olympic College game that we did, we saw that zone in the ladies' game. You know, I asked Missy Beard, my partner there at OC Women's Basketball, if they called it, if she preferred man-on-man, woman-on-woman, or person-on-person. And she said it's man-on-man. So I said, okay. Don't want to be politically incorrect.
That's right.
Nice
Unless
shot.
you're on late night TV.
Nice shot there by Natasha. She gets 1 out of 2, and the Lady Wolves lead 7-3 at the 3:51 mark in tonight's ball game. Boy, it sure is nice to be working with the South Kitsap Advanced and Professional Video Production class. Mike Downham, their instructor, they do a great job, and it's just fun to work. We had a great time in football, and this is fun to do basketball, and hopefully we're going to do some wrestling coming up, all kinds of great things.
Yeah, and we're glad to have a couple of the students from this class help us out with Olympic College basketball this week, and they did a fine job there.
We sure appreciate that. And South Kitsap, the recipients of another Foss turnover. Foss is going to have to tighten up their game to stay in the gym tonight with South, and just as I say that, South needs to tighten up their game and quit making uncaused turnovers.
Well, the Wolves are kind of working those triangles as they work around the zone, having a post come up and alternating kind of triangle positions, and that's how they're trying to work it inside.
Now there again, good strong defense. Oh, Sampson's, I think, going to get charged with the block. Yes, she is, but I thought she had good defense. That's Michelle King, who will be going up to the free throw line for the Foss Falcons. She's only a sophomore, Larry, and she's showed some aggressive play already in tonight's ball game.
Well, Foss has always seemed to me to be a very well-coached team, and they've had a lot of success in the league, and so this bodes well for them in the future, obviously.
Coach Jim Black, head coach, he's been around for a number of years, a real nice guy. A good program down there, no doubt about it. A couple years ago, I remember we met the father of one of the Foss players, real nice guy.
Absolutely. It's always fun to go down to Tacoma.
There we've got the jump ball possession arrow in favor of Green. Foss bringing it inbounds under the SK hoop.
Well, we have another low-scoring game tonight.
Well, yes, indeed.
The tongue's not quite working yet, Doc.
And that is not a good sign for South Kitsap.
7-3 with 2:54 left in the game.
And there, another turnover by Foss. They didn't get it inbounds in the 5 seconds.
Well, fortunately, neither team seems to be in gear yet, so...
Well, no, they don't. It's a little warm in the gym tonight. Working it down to Tash Allen out on the baseline on the side. Back out front to Lindsay. She'll start it around again. Boyd. Boyd takes a 3 attempt. And Natasha Allen with the rebound. She looks for the shot. Can't make it. Dishes to Beth Ellen, whose shot goes off. And Lindsay Foster with a nice pass. Boyd with the rebound on that one. Unfortunately, it went off the hands of South Kitsap into the hands of the Foss player. Oh! We got a scrum going on down there as Tasha Allen and Kristen Savage go down to the wood.
Well, the Wolves just could not convert, getting about 4 or 5 offensive rebounds, but just couldn't get it to drop through the hole.
Well, that was what was happening in their last game, the coach said. They just did not get on the offensive scoring end until too late. They're working it around again around the outside. Try to push it in, and Foss knows that play. But unfortunately, Foss has not been able to take advantage of it. And Lindsay pushing it back down this way. And once again, I think we just saw that in replay.
Well, they've got a great front half going for the transition game. It just isn't got the back half of it yet.
That's right.
And here's a replay.
Oh, there's that last drive.
I was thinking that might have been a double dribble or travel there.
Well, I didn't see that one, but it could have been. Yeah, we've got a timeout at the 1 minute 45 second mark here in quarter number 1. South Kitsap Lady Wolves lead 7-3 over the Foss Falcons. Well, they've been playing pretty good. Their ball movement is looking good. Strong defense, but that offense, you got to score more than 7 points in 8 minutes.
Well, fortunately for the Wolves, they're a very strong rebounding team. They've had many opportunities on the offensive board, and fortunate for them, Foss has not been able to convert on any of their defensive steals, which have been plenty so far, but they haven't really converted on one yet.
No, that's right. Foss has made a number of turnovers going down the other way after a steal. Well, up to the free throw line, we've got Vanessa Kitt. Kitt's first shot goes through. Vanessa is a 5'6". She's one of the seniors on the team. Second one rolls around, but Foss pulls down the rebound. We've got a jump ball. Kristen Boyd and Andrea Craig.
And this time the arrow is in favor of the Falcons.
Yeah, Foss will be bringing it in once again. So they're staying alive. They're 7-4. They're only down by 3. Oh, at that time, nowhere to go with it. Ball out of the hands of Michelle King. And once again, South Kitsap moves quickly down court. Beth Ellis's three-point attempt up and over the glass.
Well, this is definitely the coldest we've seen the Lady Wolves so far this year as far as the offensive end. And I really don't think it's because of what Foss is doing on defense. They just seem to be a little cold tonight.
Yeah, that would be my estimation, all right, Larry. They just not quite as tight as they have seen them before in that scoring end, that's for sure. So 1:15 left to go in this first quarter. Outside shot by Foss. Rebounded by Craig. Craig pushes it inside for the layup to Maureen Wilson. A 1-point lead for the Wolves. Ellis tries the three. Her shot goes off, and let's see if it's going to be an over the back.
Well, the referee indicating a push.
And 5 team fouls on South Kitsap. That's not a good sign either, with only 1 on Foss. Oh, nice job by Kristen Boyd knocking the ball loose from behind, but nobody to grab it before it goes out of bounds, so Foss will maintain possession. We're under a minute to go in this first quarter. That's Boyd with the ball right now, Kristen Boyd. Boyd's a junior.
Well, so far, I'd say number 10 on the Foss Falcons, Andrea Craig, is having probably the best game of any of the Falcons. She's been probably 3 or 4 rebounds, and she's a guard as well who's been kind of directing the offense for them. Been very active on the floor in the first quarter.
Well, this is not looking good, Larry. 6 fouls here at the first quarter on the South Kitsap Lady Wolves. 1 more, and Foss will be up for the 1-and-1 the entire second quarter.
Well, and of course, as you know, if it gets to 10, it'll go to 2.
That's right. Oh, that was a nice turnaround underneath the hoop.
And the Falcons take the lead for the first time.
That was Kelly Sorsdahl with that turnaround fall on your back shot. Beth Ellis, Boyd, Foster on the wings, Sampson and Natasha Allen inside. Natasha Allen, nice turnaround. Ball kept alive. Ellis' shot just won't go down. She's just not being able to get it through the iron tonight.
Well, the Falcons are switching up on different types of defensive sets. That's
a nice shot there.
They're in a 2-on-2, Doc, and
Andrea Craig with that one.
Number 10.
So at the end of the first half of action, the Foss Falcons came out of nowhere to lead the South Kitsap Lady Wolves 10-7. Well, they've got to get on the offensive scoring. Let's see who, so far for South Kitsap, it looks like Natasha Ellen with 3 is, that's not going to do it in the first quarter. And leading the way for Foss is Maureen Wilson.
And there we have a replay coming up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there it went.
There it went.
Well, it's great to be here tonight, Larry. Happy to have you with us.
Well, it's great to be here. I was trying to get in there before the end of the quarter that the Falcons are switching up different zone defenses. The last time down, they were in either a 2-1-2 or would look more like a 2-3. And they started out the game in a 1, with the point guard, a 1-3-1.
Well, yes, indeed, the zone defense. And as I said, our Lady Wolves running the man-on-man, person-on-person most of the time.
And we have the 2-1-2 defense set up again here. 2-pointer on the line.
Oh, boy, Beth Ellis' shots have been so close tonight, but she has just not been able to get them to drop quite yet.
Well, you can say that for everybody on the team, I think, so far, Doc.
And there's a new player in for Foss. That's Alexis Robbins, 6'2" junior. She's a tall one out there. She matches up with Natasha.
Absolutely.
Natasha actually is listed at 6'1". All right, Lindsay Foster with the tray. I believe that's our first 3-pointer of the night.
Gosh, I was going to do Roger stops and pops, but if she's standing right next to me, I couldn't do that, Roger.
And that ties the ball game up at 10-10.
Well, it's starting to warm up a little bit here, and as the play continues here in the second quarter with 7:13 to go.
Over to the side, Erica Lamalu on the wing, and her shot off the iron. And once again, one shot and the rebound pulled down by Andrea Craig. Andrea's been pulling down a lot of rebounds and driving them out to head the transition play the other direction.
She's probably their top rebounder as a,
as a
guard or a wing, whatever you want to call her.
It's Sorsdahl with the ball now out beyond the 3-point line. That's the big girl, the 6'2" junior. Her shot off the iron, and Lindsay Foster pushing it down court. She stops behind the three-pointer. And once again, boy, oh boy, it was so close, but not to be.
Well, I like to see that. Hey, get Lindsay going. She's a good shooter, and she'll start putting those in.
Well, she definitely has the three-point shot, too. We know that. And that's really what a shooter needs to do is just shoot and warm up off the top of the glass. Ball still in play. And knocked out of bounds by Erica Lamalu for South Kitsap. So Foss will maintain possession. 10-10, 6-14. Now maybe this is how teams have decided to play South Kitsap. Try to take the air out of the ball. Remember that phrase, Larry? Taking the air out of the ball, the slow down game?
I thought that referred to actually taking the air out of the ball.
When you want to put it away, huh? That shot's off the glass.
And here comes Lindsay.
South Kitsap with the rebound. Nice dish. Lindsay to Lamalu. 4-2.
Now we're starting to get the engine warmed up.
Erica Lamalu with 4 tonight. Craig finds Maureen Wilson open. She dishes it off to Vanessa Kitts in the ballgame. Back out to Craig. That's Maureen Wilson. She's going to get fouled, and that is going to be on Natasha Allen. Nice replay there of that great drive by both Erica and Lindsay. Lindsay's dish off to Erica at the last minute.
That is the magic no-look dish.
And up to the free throw line is Maureen Wilson. South Kitsap up by 2 at this point. 5:32 in the second quarter. Wilson's shot through, and the South Kitsap Lady Wolves have committed 7 team fouls, putting themselves into the penalty, which is why Maureen Wilson gets a second shot, because she made the first one, Larry.
And Natasha Allen sits down, taking a break, taking the weight off that ankle for a little bit here.
2 shots for Maureen Wilson, and we're all tied up once again, and that time a takeaway by Kristen Savage. Craig. Inside to Michelle King. Michelle King. Way
Wild
off.
shot. And here comes Lindsay again.
Oh, nice look away. See if we can corral it. Just barely. Just barely kept in control, but we ended up losing it anyway.
Well, the Wolves are just not sharp with their passes tonight.
And Angel Gangler up from the JVs.
Did she call glass on that, Doc?
Only a 2, but that's Andrea Craig with the 2. And once again, Foss up in the front. Beth Ellis' outside shot still not going down. Boy, she has the lids on the hoop for her. Good attempt by Beth. Beth has played well on the defensive end. That's Wilson. Nice step around, turn around inside the paint. And the foul is going to be tagged to number 40, who on the JV team is Angel Gingler, a sophomore.
Well, they're going to have to work it inside as well from taking those shots from the outside, Doc. Otherwise, it's just going to make that zone all the more effective. You have to loosen it up a little bit by working it inside.
Who is it? Well, I guess number 40 is not Angel. We'll get that worked out at halftime. Find out who she is. I know it's not Katie Starbird, even though she's not playing right now, but we'll find out who that is. Well, 3-point lead, 4:24. We're almost halfway through quarter number 2, and Maureen Wilson, she's been doing some work up at the free throw line. Sinks another one. It's Boyd over on this side. Oh, nice defense that time. Vanessa Kitt with her hands in the way.
Well, once again, the passing is just doing the Wolves in here.
That's right. Not very crisp on that one, that's for sure.
Well, you can't telegraph where you're going to it. That's what's happening here.
And South Kitsap gets a takeaway. Uh-oh, Lindsay almost loses it, but manages to maintain possession. Lamalo tries to get it inside off the fingertips and out of bounds. Foss be bringing it back in.
Well, that was a really nice pass by Lamalu inside. Need to kind of just roll her off her hip down there low and go for that pass.
I keep waiting for the ladies to get on a run here, score about 10, 12 in a row.
Well, we know they're capable of it.
They sure
I'm
are.
hoping we're going to see it here before the half ends.
Sorsdahl out front. Oh, nice pressure defense caused that turnover. And Lindsay Foster tries to get it into Boyd, who makes a beautiful save and a dish back to Lindsay Foster.
Well, great presence of mind
Yes,
by Boyd
indeed.
that time to get it back in bounds to Lindsay for the short jumper.
Yes, indeed. Good defense again. And this one's going to be in favor of South Kitsap
I think
again.
the Lady Wolves might have looked up that scoreboard and started realizing what's happening here. The intensity has picked up a little bit in the last minute here, Doc, and the Wolves are doing more pressing on defense, full court pressing, and got the turnover that time.
Well, we got 3:13 to go in this first half of action, and the Lady Wolves down by 2.
Got to keep that passing moving.
There it is. 3-point attempt by Foster just off the iron and brought down by Sorsdahl for Foss.
Great inside position there by the Foss rebounder.
Oh, she kept one toe, I guess, glued to the wood. It's
There's another
Kristen
walk.
Savage inside. And no avail, pulled down by number 40. We'll have to find out who that is. Who was that?
That was Boyd.
Good. That's the way we like to see them.
Well, the intensity level, once again, is starting to increase here.
And a quicker play. Hendricks' shot off. Once again, another rebound. Number 40. We got to find out who she is. She's done a whale of a job. Oh, a nice dish and a nice layup by Lamalu.
Really starting to get in rhythm now. The defense and the transition game is paying off, and Lindsay's taking it to the rack.
6 points for Lamalu and another steal. Look away by Lindsay Foster just off the fingertips of Kristen Boyd.
Well, there's nothing like a little action to get the crowd into it, Doc, as they've come to life below us here. Good-sized crowd here tonight.
Yeah, it is. Good crowd. Folks come all the way from Tacoma to watch Foss. Good defense up by the half-court line. Oh, a nice block, and once again pulled down by Sampson that time. Foster looking for someone to dish to. She decides to try the tray. And this time it's an air ball, but South maintains possession.
Boyd kicks it on out. And a minute 20 left in the game and a halftime here.
Lamalu into Sampson for 2. And South Kitsap Lady Wolves have a 4-point lead at the 1 minute and 12-second mark here in the second quarter of action.
Looking for a double team.
Uh-oh. Who's got the ball? Who's got the rock? There it is.
Well, the Foss Falcons are showing that they are a young team. You can tell
That's
by their ball handling skills are not quite up to the level of the South Kitsap team, which is typical of younger players. They certainly are doing everything they can. They're lacking nothing in intensity, though.
And even though South hasn't gone on a real scoring binge like we've seen them, I really like the fact that the girls are keeping their heads into the ball game.
Well,
they're not laying back on pressure or anything else. We've got 46 seconds left in this half.
Well, they haven't been doing a lot from the offensive set here, but they have been doing a good job recently here in the transition game.
Mamalu attempts the three-pointer at the 10-second mark on the shot clock. Ball off the front iron, and once again, only one shot, and Foss rebounds.
Foss kind of spreading the floor here a little bit.
That's Hendricks, Dinah. Hendricks loses the ball, and it's off to Lindsay Foster and off to the races again. Boy,
For three.
sizes up to 3. And pulled down nicely by Angela Sampson. Boy, Angela Sampson has done a nice job on that low post rebounding. Oh, there we got the arc. You got to get that high arc for that three-pointer, and Kristen Boyd did on the last second of the first half of action, and the South Kitsap Lady Wolves lead 23-16.
The replay shot. You going to get one, Doc? What do you think?
Well, we'll see. But in the
Well,
meantime,
maybe
I
not.
want to let everybody know I'm the doctor, Doc Parr, joined by Mr. Larry Rowe of ICU Productions up here in the booth. Our partner, Roger Fossum here. We're Community Television. It's the high school basketball game of the week, and we're very happy to be working with the South Kitsap High School Advanced and Professional Video Production class. And we want you to stay tuned for the halftime presentation here. It'll be brought to you by the video production class, and it's a presentation that Pat Austria and the folks put together in honor of Martin Luther King, which is Monday, as we all know. So stay tuned, take a look at that, and we'll be back with everybody for the second half of action in just a little while.
To the crucial and political and moral questions of our times. The need for man to overcome oppression and violence without resorting to oppression and violence. Man must evolve for all human conflict, a method which rejects revenge, aggression, and retaliation. The foundation of such a method is love. Martin Luther King, Jr.
Someday we may yet leave.
Says that I am convinced that the most potent weapon available to oppress people as they struggle for freedom and justice is the weapon of nonviolence. We're nonviolent with people. That I know that justice is indivisible. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
Stand in the sun there, that bright afternoon.
What we're about here, love is the answer, regardless to what the question is. It's about love. I have a dream. Dreaming is good, but it's time to wake up. Let's be about it. Immaculate, South Kitsap Security.
Failed to hear. It has failed to hear that the promises of freedom and justice have not been met, and it has failed to hear that large segments of white society are more concerned about tranquility and the status quo than about justice, equality, and humanity. About that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. Any man, mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
And welcome back to the South Kitsap High School Gymnasium. I'm the Dr. Doc Parr. It's Community Television's high school basketball game of the week. And the South Kitsap Lady Wolves lead the Foss Flying Falcons of Tacoma 23-16 here at the beginning of number 3. Well, I'm joined up here in the booth by Mr. Larry Rowe, my partner, and we'd like to thank the South Kitsap Video Production class, the advanced to professional students, for doing a great job on the technical production. It's always a pleasure to be here and to be working with them. And I'm going to turn the microphone over here for this third quarter of action to our regular play-by-play man, Mr. Roger Fossum, to jump in there with you, Larry. And run the third quarter, I'll be back with you at quarter number 4, if I can wrestle the mic out of Roger's hand.
Well, we also want to thank Garrett Sight, the chairman of the board. He's directing tonight in the first and the fourth quarter, and Mike Smith will be doing quarters number 2 and 3 tonight from the South Kitsap Advanced Video class. Well, Raj, what are your impressions of that first half, having not have to talk through it?
This was my first impression of the South Kitsap Lady Wolves. Frankly, I expected a little more. I know they've scored 100 points a few times. To have 7 points almost all through the first quarter was a little bit surprising to me. They did break out of it in the second quarter and looked real good. Fortunately, Foss played worse than they did, and Foss tried to do a lot of things they couldn't do. Some behind-the-back passes and really some just terrible turnovers that really kept South Kitsap within reach so they could stretch it out. And here we go, starting out the third quarter. Andrea Craig, number 10. Number 24, Kelly Sorsdahl, takes a dribble drive and pops, does not get it to drop. And Andrea Craig, excuse me, that wasn't Sorsdahl. That's the other team, Raj. Yes, it was. And Anger Barton is the South Kitsap girl with that number. Here's Sorsdahl, take it away.
Well, Andrea Boyd is all over the court tonight.
Okay, that's her sister. This is Kristen Boyd.
Oh, wait a minute. I could have swore. Oh, my goodness. Kristen, I'm sorry, Kristen.
Well, when you have students at the same school, sometimes you run into them with the same last name. And more than likely, they're going to be family. Lindsay Foster bringing it up. She's out on the post. What a shooter. She's drained the three-pointers, missed barely a few times. And unfortunately, South Kitsap, there was a big stretch in the first half where they could not hit the broadside of a barn. Natasha whacked on the arm.
Well, the Falcons again in their 2-1-2 zone. And the Wolves having a little trouble getting inside, Roger.
Natasha not having a big scoring game tonight. We expect her, with her size, of course, inside to dominate a little bit, but not being able to get it done so far tonight. She does have 3 points that she acquired in the first half.
Well, what we've seen in the past is a lot of her points come from very far down into the paint. She's not been able to get there tonight too well because of the zone defense, which is one thing that the Foss Falcons are doing quite well at tonight.
I will say that South Kitsap has shown some superior ball handling and some very nifty passing.
Oh, absolutely.
In the first half. They just showed that they are the better team on the court, but at times it's like they didn't want to show it. They needed to oil up the gears a little bit tonight before they got themselves going. They are up by 8, 24-16.
Well, sometimes when you have that first loss of the season, it takes a little out of you.
Ball tipped back in. South on the run. Lindsay Foster. Nice pass ahead. Oh, the ball was deflected away. Erica Lamalou with a pass inside, unable to convert it.
Foss doing a great job getting in the passing lanes. They've been doing that all night.
Sorsdahl gets the pass back, drives the lane, puts it in.
And
4 points now.
South Kitsap once again staying in their zone. And
Erica Lamalou, nice pass from Kristen Boyd.
Before we could even get the sentence out, the South Kitsap girls come back and score.
26-18. Just the start of things here in the third quarter, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in. 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go here in the third quarter. On the outside, Savage finds Michelle King. Little body contact. One thing I was surprised about, again, was the lack of fouls committed by Foss in the first half. There was an awful lot of body contact. Way out, three-point pro range. and I would hasten to say that a little bit out of Andrea Craig's range on that one.
Well, she did hit glass, so you don't have to take it back out.
5:48 to go, third quarter. Foster across center line. Gustafson in the game early this time. Lisa Gustafson. No real stats on her, but we did get the correct name. Savage on the outside. Off to Craig. Inside. King. Yes, count the bucket on the arm. She
Making
is
a
fouled.
nice pivot down there, low in the paint, and getting a nice shooter's touch on the rim there.
That'll be the first team foul of the second half on South Kitsap.
When the Falcons come back to within 6 here with 5:19 to go in the third quarter.
That's a second team foul. Or first team foul, second on Angela Sampson in the game. King to the line, one shot.
The Wolves need to be careful. They got into the penalty early in the first half, and that could have hurt them and still can hurt them.
Nice form. Nothing but nylon on that shot by King. Just over 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Nice ball movement around the perimeter. Natasha. And outside, Lamalou inside to Natasha. Too hard by Angela. Lindsay Foster looking for someone.
The passing looking a little bit crisper here at the beginning in the second half.
Well, I believe that Coach Wilson had some choice instructions.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
At halftime, yes, indeed.
And we can see that the pace of the passing, the crispness of the passing has improved here.
Lindsay Foster, oh, just a smidgen hard. And Foss will come away with the unreboundable long rebound.
Well, they worked the ball around quickly enough that Lindsay had a wide open shot. The whole floor was cleared out on that side. Applying pressure again at the half court.
Nice rebound. Craig misses her putback. Lamalou comes away with the ball. Ahead to Lindsay, cross center court. She stands in the middle of top of the key. Finds an open Boyd who shoots. Air ball. Too hard. And Foss coming the other way, but they're coming 1-on-3. Way outside. Sorsdahl misses. South with down to a 5-point lead, having been up by 8 moments ago. Way outside, beautifully put in. Erica Lamalou with a tray.
Well, we seem to have alternate pronunciations on Erica's name. Is it Lamalou or is it Lamalu?
Lamalou.
Oh, okay. Well, sometimes you never know.
I'm sure just so as we're saying their name, they're happy. But we will get it correct. Number 12 in the game, Maureen Wilson. She had 6 points in the first half, and she gives the ball away to Natasha. Lindsay scoping somebody to get the ball to. Erica Lamalu hammered. And that'll be 3 team fouls on our guest tonight, the Foss Lady Falcons.
I think we got the replay given up here. And there's that beautiful
three-pointer. Yes, indeed. She used the entire rim on that one. Timeout here to go. An 8-point South Kitsap lead, 2:51 to go. Doctor looking much, excuse me, Doc. I'm used to working with Doc Larry. They're doing much, much better here. In the second half, they've come out and they've taken control. They're exhibiting some authority, and they're nailing some shots. And Foss not going away, but South is really playing well this half.
All right, their ball movement has improved dramatically. A lot crisper passing that's enabled a couple of nice open shots, and as well as a little bit closer shots down deeper in the paint. What they seem to be doing is they work the triangle high from the high post, and then they have Kristen running the baseline, alternating sides as they alternate the passing from side to side, working those triangles and creating new ones as Kristen runs the baseline.
A fine ball game tonight for Erica Lamalu. She now has 11 points in the game after having 6 in the first half. She's followed up. Lindsay Foster has 5 points. Natasha Allen now has 4.
And Angela Sampson has been a major presence rebounding and defensively. She just had a block shot about 30 seconds ago.
Natasha puts it in. Nice, nifty little turnaround.
Now that's what we need. That's what we need from Natasha, getting low.
Okay.
Got the double team trapped.
Steal, Kristen all by herself. Yes!
Nice execution of the double team. Gonna have to call that one. And it looks like Kristen is gonna get called for a push.
That's 3 team fouls that we have on Foss, and now 3 team fouls are going to have on our home Lady Wolves. 2 minutes and about 15 seconds to go here in the third quarter. South with some nice tight defense. No lanes to get a pass off. And strictly man-on-man coverage, and they nearly take it away. Lindsay Foster with a hand on the ball. Foss able to recover. Still no open shots, no place to go. But that does not stop Andrea Craig. 7 first half points. She is now up to 9.
Well,
she worked her way right up to the basket.
She is a presence on both ends of the court.
A hustling ball player. 3 seconds in the key. Natasha waiting for a pass. And they did not see her in time. We are up to a 10-point lead now. Of course, momentarily ago it was up to 12. Just over a minute and a half to go.
Wolves stepping up the pressure.
Now you can see the crispness that's gotten South a 3-1 record, and nice ball movement right there. Oh, I thought that ball was going to come off. Beautiful.
Well, the Wolves are executing their defense very well, coming up and trapping into the double team, and that's caused 3 turnovers now in the last 3 minutes. There's another turnover off the double team.
Mike Smith is our director this quarter. One of our fine high school young men. We have a whole high school production going on tonight with the 3 cameras, and it just works beautifully. Nice play. Lindsay Foster on a nice dribble drive as she puts it in, and we're going to have a replay of that. That was beautiful. Very, very clean. A 14-point lead right now.
And there's Lamalu taking that left-hander.
Oh, that's the one that that's the one that just dropped in. I thought that one was going to fall off.
It takes a little bit of time to cue those babies up. We don't have those super high-speed machines, do we, Sue? Sue up here in the booth is our floor director. We'd like to thank her for jumping on board.
14-point lead. Turnaround shot dropped in. Make that a 16-point lead. Angela Sampson with her 6 point. Nice hustle. Just over 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. Thanks, Doc, for letting me come in and broadcast. I'm Roger Fossum. Had a lot of fun. Air ball by the Foss Falcons, and South coming away with the ball.
Well, it seems like the double team has been the key in this third period of play, as the Wolves have benefited from about 5 turnovers off that double team.
And they've outscored Foss 16-7 here in the third quarter. A little lefty that doesn't drop, and we have number 20, Stacy Benton, on the court, diving on the floor, and it looks like they're going to get her for a reach as she goes for the ball. Stacy Benton, just 5'3". She's a junior.
And she gets a hug of encouragement from Natasha.
8 seconds to go in the third quarter. Still up by 16, 39-23.
Well, both teams sticking to the defenses that they had in the first half. South staying with the man-to-man. Foss with the zone.
Dribble drive down the lane. Savage loses it. King ties up Erica Lamalu, and the jump ball goes to South Kitsap this time.
Well, she had the crossover going there. She just didn't have quite room to squeeze through, Raj.
Beth Ellis back into the game. And Erica Lamalu takes a seat. Beth, tough shooting first half. They try to get the shot off, and it does not drop. Excellent third quarter for the Lady Wolves as they do outscore. In fact, they outscore by 16 points the Foss Lady Falcons. It's 39-23. Here we are in the third quarter, and Doc, thanks for letting me come in here and have a little fun, and I'll turn it back over to you.
Well, while you do that, Roger, I'd like to thank some of the South Kitsap students here who are helping tonight. Our technical director, Derek Borgman. Camera number 1 is CJ Lupica. And camera number 2, Justin Kaiser. And Mike McCurdy is doing the camera on number 3. I don't see Pat Austria down there tonight on that camera. And on audio, we have Lalani Janobagwa. I hope I pronounced that right, Lalani. Floor director is Sue Charas. And tape replay, John Phillips. So once again, we'd just really like to express our appreciation to all the students involved here giving us a hand with this production tonight.
And their instructor, Mr. Mike Downham, doing a great job with this second-year program. Well, I'm back, Larry. The doctor's back in town.
Oh, great. Here we go.
The beginning of the fourth quarter of action, the Lady Wolves came out in that third quarter and took a 16-point lead over these Foss Falcons. Well, as you guys said, they came out of the halftime after probably some choice words by Coach Wilson in that halftime talk and showed a lot more aggressive spirit. And I think the point total might not be quite as large as we have come to expect from the South Kitsap team, but they've certainly found their shooting, a little more of a shooting range than that first half, Larry.
Well, and it's really good to see them respond to what the coach told them at halftime, too. I think that's the most important thing, is that they respond and that they're picking their game up.
Yes, indeed. And Erica Lamalo leading the way for the Lady Wolves with 13 points already in tonight's ballgame. Rebound pulled down by Natasha Ellen over to Lindsay Foster. Lindsay back out front. Uh-oh, ball through the fingers of Natasha. She cuts across the high post. And Foss gets it and brings it down this way. It's Michelle King working it into the middle.
And I think they're going to tag Natasha for another foul there. It looked like she had the principle of verticality going to me, Doc, but she does get tagged.
Maureen Wilson is going to go up to the free throw line. And did they count her 2, Larry? I didn't see him put it up on the board yet. They did. Okay, they counted the 2, and she'll have a chance to make 3 from the free throw line. Maureen Wilson, she's a junior.
Well, we have had some nice foul shooting from the Falcons tonight. Very nice form out of the Lady Falcons.
5 team fouls on South, 4 on Foss. Neither team in the penalty yet here at the 7:13 mark in quarter number 4. Kristen Boyd out on the wing. Tash Allen goes out to the point position. Lamalu tries to throw it across the baseline. I think she was heading for Sampson, didn't make it into her. And Foss committing another unforced error.
Well, Foss has had a lot of great things happen for them. Unfortunately, not many of them have come to fruition as they move through their transition game. But they know what they're supposed to be doing, but it just hasn't happened.
Nice move on the inside. Lamalo goes along the baseline, but her shot's off. And the Falcons bringing it down this direction. Wilson on the baseline. Her shot's an air ball. And Lamalu throws it long down court. Natasha Ellen has to tiptoe into the tulips up in the stands that time in her effort to keep the ball inbounds, but to no avail with that sprained ankle.
Well, it makes it difficult to cut and get your normal game going when you're hurting.
And to tiptoe through the stands.
That's right.
There's Michelle King, or not Michelle King, Andrea Craig with a nice turnaround in the paint.
Really like the looks of Andrea Craig. She's got on a really balanced game on both ends of the court.
Yes, indeed. She's leading the scoring for the Foss Falcons.
I would bet
13,
she's probably
12.
the leading rebounder as well.
Ooh,
Rainbow!
Outside shot. And a nice putback. Angela Sampson with that putback. Nice job by Angela.
Well, Angela having a great rebounding game tonight.
Good steal by Lindsay Foster. And that'll be off the Foss hand of the Foss player. South Kitsap will be, Let's look at, well, yes. We don't need replay here in basketball, at least down on court. The fans need it.
Yeah.
Let's see if we're going to get the replay here. Yep. Well, I don't know if we'll get a replay on that or not. Or maybe we did and we missed it. Anyway, trust us, it went off the hands of the Foss player. Beth Ellis with 3.
Beautiful stroke on that.
And Beth had a hard time finding that hole in the first half, but she has finally got her shooting rhythm. And talk about shooting rhythm, Andrea Craig with another 2.
Well, that's 2 off glass for Andrea, and she didn't call that, I'm sure.
Erica Lamalu to Lindsay Foster. Back out to Foster. And again, they try to push it inside. Angela Sampson manages to fight for the ball and maintain possession. That's tough. Foss pretty much is expecting that pass inside to that high post player. Lamalu's 3-point attempt off the iron, run down by number 24, Kelly Sorsdahl for the Foss Falcons. And there again, Foss getting themselves a little jammed up over there in the corner. And Michelle King with a nice drive in.
And Michelle King is waking up here in the fourth quarter, getting deep into the paint, and that's a couple of nice rebounds. The second time she's been to the foul line here for another 3-point attempt, Doc.
That's right, Michelle King with that bucket. And it's a 11-point lead for the South Kitsap Wolves, so the Foss Falcons are coming back a little bit here. South Kitsap has 4 minutes, 24 seconds left in this ball game to hang on to this lead and maintain their number 1 position. On their side, their division of the Narrows League. Eric Lamalu running it down to Lindsay Foster. Well, our friend and partner at Olympic College, Lanny Wilson, on the microphone tonight for KITZ Radio's presentation of this ballgame, live AM 1400 every Tuesday and Friday night.
Another member of the board from Westsound Community Television.
Yes, indeed. And they're on, as I said, every Friday and Saturday. And you can see the replay of this game every Sunday at 11 a.m. We have the high school basketball game of the week. Did I say Lanny Wilson? I meant Lanny Dow, the coach. Our good buddy working with KITZ tonight. And next week, we've got Central Kitsap versus Port Angeles on the high school basketball game of the week. The first chance we'll have this season to look at our buddies John Sitton's team. Good friend John from Central Kitsap, great guy. Got a young team this year, and they're feeling it. But we'll take a look at them next week against Port Angeles.
We have seen Port Angeles already, haven't we, Doc?
Nope, not this season.
Oh, I thought we saw them.
No PA games yet, but that'll be next week. And, of course, later on here in the season, we hope to be Once again, working with the great crew, the great team here from South Kitsap Video Production class to bring you a South Kitsap boys basketball game. And coming up next week, South Kitsap Invitational Wrestling.
That's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun, Doc.
Yes, it should be.
See the masters of the mat at work.
The masters of the mat. I like that one, Larry.
Well, as we wind down here with about a 13-point lead.
At the 3:35 mark.
I hope they'll forgive us for moving on to some other subjects of coming interest to you.
That's right. We just want to let the fans know what's going on out there on their community channels. Channel 12, TCI, Channel 3, Falcon.
Well, I think people will like watching the wrestling that we're going to be doing next week, and really encourage everyone to tune in and spread the word.
Well, Savage up at the free throw line. Number 1 didn't go down. South Kitsap is in the penalty now with 17 fouls. And number 2 went through, so 46-34. A 12-point lead for the Lady Wolves from South Kitsap. Angela Sampson tries to bounce it over to Natasha. Craig drives the length of the court. Nice defensive effort. And let's see which direction they're going to award it to Green.
It's Green. It was off Natasha.
Ladies in green.
Either off Natasha or possibly it could have been off Sampson.
Well, I don't think we've seen a three-point shot yet, have we, from the Foss team? Seen some attempts, but no makes. And pulled down rebound by South, pushing it up once again. Uh-oh, and Boyd, well, she's okay.
I think she was just showing a
Just
little
upset that she missed it,
frustration there. Taking it strong to the hoop with a really nice move against a little bit taller opponent. She just about got it, but she will have 2 tries here at the charity stripe.
Well, this is good to see, too, that with a 13 or 12-point lead like this, they're not slowing the ball down. When they get a good rebound, they're pushing it up, transition, and that's the way they're going to have to play as they go beyond the regular season, we hope, and we certainly hope that we'll be able to follow them all the way to the big show, the state tournament, and I think they're a good-looking team. They're going to be very competitive this year in postseason.
Well, I think it's one of the best teams we've seen from South Kitsap in a number of years.
And South Kitsap definitely has been probably the cream of the crop in ladies basketball in Kitsap County for at least the last couple of years. Even though I know the ladies up in Bainbridge give you an argument about that.
Oh, yeah. Personally, the game I'd like to see
be
is
Bainbridge
South
versus South.
No, South Kitsap against Olympic College.
Oh, on the women's end, that is.
That's right.
Side. All right, bringing it inbounds. Number 22, that's Christian Savage. Knocked out of bounds. Foss maintains possession. And speaking of college, might as well get one more promo in. Wednesday nights this month, we're going to be bringing you Olympic College basketball, working with Olympic College Media Services. And we'll be going live with the men's game around 7:45, 8 o'clock after City Council, and videotape replay at 11 a.m. on Saturday of both the men's and women's Olympic College basketball. Oh, a nice drive down. Lamalo with a good pass on the baseline to Boyd. Unfortunately, it did not go down, and Alexis Robin, the 6'2" junior, pulls it down for the Foss Falcons. Well, our partner from football, our other commentator, C.J. Lupica, he's on the camera tonight up here in the booth with us.
Yeah, he's going to have a kink in his neck tonight.
It's the Larry camera. All right, we really appreciate the work that all these guys and gals are doing from the class. It's just a pleasure to work with them, and I think this is a top-notch production team here.
Absolutely.
That's Sampson. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Lamalo gets her shot blocked by the shorter Andrea Craig. And Craig is a really physical ball player out there. She definitely is the heart of this Foss team.
But she threw it away there, Doc. And we have a fast break and the bucket. Oh no!
That's too
I
bad, too.
misspoke.
I wanted to give the big assist to Lindsay Foster. She did a great job of looking down court to see the open player. 1:25 left to go in the ball game tonight. And going up to the free throw line will be Kristen Savage. Well, we got a... Actually, wouldn't say if they can make 50 points. That's about what they scored. They scored 44 in the last ball game on Wednesday. So I think after that shooting melee in the first half, things seem to have loosened up a bit on the shooting end for them here in the second half. And that's a good sign.
Well, I think every level of their game is picked up in the second half. And they're handling Foss here quite easily in the last quarter.
Savage up at the free throw line. So she completes a three-pointer the hard way with 2 shots. She's got 4 tonight, all in the second half.
Now we had almost a minute to go here, and Natasha Ellen still just sprinting down court.
And Stacy Benton into the ball game now for the Lady Wolves. That's Sampson to Foster for the tray. Oh, yeah. Nice shot, and that is really nice to see her three-pointers coming back in town.
Absolutely, and that catch and shoot is not the easiest shot there is.
Lindsay with 10 tonight. Craig over to Robbins. Robbins shot off, and South Kitsap will be bringing it in. And there they are on the sideline. The rest of the team standing up and applauding the effort of the players on the court. It's been a good game tonight for these Lady Wolves, and very happy to be bringing it to you fans on the Community Television High School Basketball Game of the Week. Robbins with it for Foss. They've got 24 seconds. The shot clock is off. And this is going to...
Nice pass inside.
Oh, and right there with the 15 seconds left to go. Hustle.
And we have a playback here. That last tray is Lindsay drops it to the bottom of the bucket.
And as you can see by that replay, it didn't touch iron. Did not even touch the iron.
That's right. All cotton on that, baby.
Bottom of the twine, as they say.
Well, whatever euphemism you like.
Kristen Savage sinks her first free throw. And Foss is still not in the penalty, believe it or not. Only 16 fouls here with 15 seconds left to go in the ballgame.
Well, most of their defensive has come by getting in the passing lane as opposed to getting up tight on the players.
That's right. And as you explained, they played a lot of zone D. Yeah, we're under 10 seconds. South is going to just work it around. 1 second to go, and the ball game is over. And the South Kitsap Lady Wolves come away with a victory, 51-39 over Tacoma rivals, the Foss Lady Falcons. Well, this was a very big win for Coach Wilson and his Lady Wolves, and I'm very happy to see that they were able to pull it off. They really seemed to get their game cranked up and going in that second half, Larry.
Well, really good to see them bounce back after that loss. That's true. It took them a little while to get the engine going like they usually do, but they sharpened up in the second half. They started working that double team and trapping people, getting multiple turnovers, and they picked up their crispness in their passing and started to get a little deeper down into the paint, which enabled them to exploit their size a little better, Doc.
Yes, indeed. And leading the way for Foss on the scoring was Andrea Craig with 14. And a nice balanced scoring by the South Kitsap Lady Falcons. Erica Lamalu with 13. Angela Sampson, Erica Lamalu with 13. Lindsay Foster with 10, and Boyd with 9. So even without Natasha Ellen putting in some big numbers, South Kitsap coming away with a victory, and a real nice job by Angela Sampson on the rebounding end, and once again, excellent point guard work by Lindsay Foster. So we're very happy to be bringing this ball game to you. Looking forward to following this team as far as they go this season, and we certainly hope it's districts and state championships. Well, I want to thank you, Larry, for the help up here in the booth. I want to thank Roger for his help and his work down on the floor, and all of the crew from the South Kitsap Advanced and Professional Video Production class, Mr. Mike Danham, their instructor and executive producer, and of course from Westsound Television, our chairman of the board. Down there directing the first, second, and fourth quarters, Mr. Garrett Syke.
The chairman of the board.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the ball game. We sure enjoyed bringing it to you, and we want you to stay tuned next week, same time, same place, 11 a.m. on Sunday. We'll be bringing you Port Angeles at Central Kitsap as John Sitton's Cougars host the Rough Riders from PA. So we'll wrap it up from South Kitsap here. And the South Kitsap Lady Wolves with a very important Narrows League victory tonight over the Foss Falcons, 51-39. I'm the Dr. Doc Parr. It's Community Television's high school basketball game of the week. We'll see ya soon.